Dan Morgan, you are that guy. You are that guy. You are the best general manager that I have had since I've been a fan since 2000, which is the earliest that I have been able to watch the game. Like, you are that guy. When I moved from South America in 2000, moved to Charlotte, started watching the games, that's when I started this experience. And you are that guy. Y'all should go watch The Real Ball Watcher. And he said, go ahead and build him a statue. And that's what I think. I think Dan Morgan deserves a statue because that's how good he has been. And I mean, if we talk about this free agency, if we talk about not just this free agency, but even more than just this free agency, the draft class, he has had a phenomenal run here, a phenomenal run. And I, for one, am incredibly excited to get right to it. So I wanted to share this article from ESPN because I think it's a really, really good article that talks about just how good he has been. So Carolina Panthers, this is ESPN's article about the best teams that improved, the best signing, Jalen Phillips. There was some debate over whether Phillips or Hendrickson was the best edge in this draft class, but Phillips at 26 is the younger of the two and still has possibility for growth. The Eagles' defense improved on film once it added Phillips at midseason. Edge rusher was a huge need for the Panthers team that ranked just 28th in sacks and 24th in pass rush win rate. Signing Phillips was very expensive with the 4-year, but he had the cap space to make a move. And by the way, so they have Devin Lloyd also had a shout out here, but the Rasheed Walker thing hadn't even happened up to this point. Like, that's the important thing. The Rasheed Walker had not occurred. Rasheed Walker, if I can pull this up. So Rasheed Walker, it was such a shock to people that Rasheed Walker was able to do what he did because people didn't even think that it was going to happen. People were expecting Rasheed Walker to essentially make something around at least $40 million guaranteed. At least $40 million guaranteed. So the fact that Rasheed Walker went for 1 year with incentives, $10 million, that's insane. That's insane. And once again, I'm sure that his market dried up. I'm sure that he was expecting a deal. Now, one of the things that happened with Rasheed Walker that I found out this weekend is there was something that happened where he had a firearm at LaGuardia in New York, and I guess he got flagged for it. He made a mistake. But even that, when Jeremy Fowler was talking about that, that's not enough to be like, oh, you shouldn't give him the contract he deserves. I think what happened, and Jeremy Fowler once again said this, I think what happened is teams thought that the Titans overpaid. Teams thought that the Titans overpaid for Dan Moore, and they did not want another situation where somebody did that again. So once again, Rasheed Walker, just an absolute star to me, an absolute star with a 1 year, what he got is not that much. It is not that much. So I wanted to read this to y'all real quick. Let me make sure I'm sharing this with you guys. I am not. Right. So there we are. Yeah. So essentially, what Rasheed Walker got was 1 year, $10 million. So 1 year, $10 million with incentives. He started. He gives them insurance against the condition of Ekwonu, who is coming back from a torn patellar tendon in the wild card game against the Rams. The Panthers now have a projected starting offensive lineup that includes 385 starts, the kind of security that Bryce Young feels. Once again, I think this also shows, people were crashing out on Panthers Twitter about the fact that you can't roll out Stone Forsythe. I trust my GM. I trust the fact that Dan Morgan, I just think, I understand that the rule and the Fitterer stuff did not go over well, but I think Dan Morgan has shown enough that we can start trusting this guy. This guy is somebody that is going to set this team up for success. Once again, we will do a lot more stuff going forward, a lot more analysis, a lot more cap stuff. I think Spotrac came out with the contract specifically and what it means. So we can talk a little bit about that tomorrow, but just wanted to just talk about the Rasheed Walker signing, Dan Morgan. Go ahead. Just go ahead and crown him as the best general manager of the Panthers. Someone on Twitter replied to me when I said that and said, that doesn't say much. I don't really care. You're right. It might not say much, but it is. To me, he's not just the best Panthers GM. We're talking about a guy that if he continues to stack years like this, he could be like a top 5 GM in a couple of years. That's how good he's been. So anyways, thank y'all for watching. Like, subscribe, do all the things, and I'll see y'all in the next one.